This is me, Amina Malik, 18 years old, living in a town where everyone seems to know everyone and their opinions about them. But my journey hasn't been easy. You see, I wasn't always Amina, the Muslim girl in the hijab. I was just Amina, the girl next door. Until I chose a path that changed everything. Narrator. Amina. High school can be tough for anyone, but being the only Muslim girl in a school of hundreds? That's a whole different challenge. Amina walks into the cafeteria and sits alone. Her classmate Sarah hesitates before sitting down with her. Sarah. So, why the hijab? Doesn't it get hot? Amina, smiling. It's more than just clothing. It's a part of my faith, my identity. Narrator. Amina. Sarah was one of the few who didn't treat me like I was invisible. She was curious, not judgmental. It was a small but significant start. At home, Amina sits with her parents, Rachel and David, at the dinner table. The mood is tense. Rachel. Amina, you used to love Christmas. Now you won't even come to church with us? David. She's just rebelling. Teenagers go through phases. Amina. It's not a phase, Dad. I've found peace in Islam. Narrator. Amina. I knew my parents wouldn't understand right away. My mom was confused, my dad angry. And me? I was just tired. Amina sits in a quiet corner of the local mosque with Fatima, her best friend and mentor. Amina. I feel like I'm fighting everyone. My parents, my classmates, the whole town. Fatima. Allah never burdens a soul beyond what it can bear. You're stronger than you think. Narrator. Amina. Fatima was my rock. She'd been through similar struggles and reminded me that faith isn't about perfection. It's about trying. Amina stands nervously at the front of her class, holding a slideshow clicker. The title on the board reads, Understanding Islam. Amina. Islam is often misunderstood, but it's not so different from other faiths. It's about peace, compassion, and submission to God. A student interrupts with a snide remark. Sarah stands up. Sarah. Can we not be jerks for once? Let her speak. Narrator. Amina. For the first time, I felt like I wasn't alone. It was just Sarah, but that was enough. Amina returns home to find her father holding her prayer mat, visibly upset. David. What is this? You're praying 5 times a day now. Amina. It's my way of connecting with God, Dad. Why can't you accept that? David storms out, leaving Amina in tears. Narrator. Amina. Sometimes, it felt like no matter what I said, I couldn't get through to him. But giving up wasn't an option. Rachel sits in the kitchen, flipping through a photo album of Amina as a child. Tears well up in her eyes. Narrator. Amina. My mom wasn't cruel, just scared. Scared that she was losing the little girl she'd raised. But I was still me, just a different version. Scene 7. Amina breaks down. Amina sits on a park bench at dusk, wiping away tears. Fatima joins her. Fatima. It's okay to cry, Amina. But remember, Allah sees your struggle, and He's with you. Narrator. Amina. In my darkest moments, I clung to that belief, that I wasn't alone, even if it felt like it. Pastor John visits the Malik home, sitting with the family in their living room. Pastor John. Faith should never divide a family. Rachel. David. Have you asked Amina why she made this choice? Rachel. We just don't understand. Amina. Because it gives me peace. And I need you to at least respect that. Narrator. Amina. Pastor John didn't have to help, but he did. And for the first time, I felt heard. Amina and Fatima host a cultural event at the town hall, showcasing Islamic art and traditions. Rachel and David watch from the audience, hesitant but curious. Narrator. Amina. That night, I saw something shift in my parents' eyes. Maybe it was pride. Maybe it was understanding. Whatever it was, it gave me hope. Late at night, David places a cup of tea beside Amina as she prays. He lingers for a moment before walking away. Amina notices and smiles. Narrator. Amina. It wasn't an apology, but it was a start. Sometimes love doesn't need words. Amina walks through the town again, this time greeted by friendly smiles and nods. Narrator, Amina, this is my story. It's not perfect, and it's far from over. But if I've learned one thing, it's this: acceptance begins with understanding. And understanding? That's a journey worth taking.